Hello everyone and welcome to the second video in my C++11 programming video series. I would like to start this video out by first correcting a little bit of an oversight in our previous video that dealt with setting up our C++11 compiler, and then I'd like to dive into C++ comments, what did I say? Comments, C++11 variables, as well as C++ input from the user. So let's get started right away. In my previous tutorial, I mentioned that we would be compiling our programs with the C++11 standard. However, if you recall, I mentioned that we have to do a G++ followed by the name of files in order to compile. However, this compiles with the C++03 standard. In order to get it to compile with the C++11 standard, we have to do, after the G++, we have to do a dash std equals C++11 followed by the name of the files we want to compile. In this way, what the compiler is saying, I'm going to compile this with the C++11 standard in mind. So from now on, whenever we want to compile a file, we want to use the C++11 standard. Now I want to talk a little bit about how to commentate our C++11 source files. So let's create a boilerplate C++11 source file. So if we do vim example.cpp like we've been doing, let's write our boilerplate code. And we have our boilerplate code as such. So now if we say, for example, let's just print out a message to the screen saying, welcome to the my C++ program. Now, just imagine if this program was 100,000 lines long, and you have given these source files to some other programmer who has to read through it and add some new feature. It could be a pain to just read through pure code. Sometimes we'd like to give some people some help. So what we can do is we can actually commentate our file by putting two forward slashes for a single line of comment and then writing our comment. So here we're going to say print welcome message. We can also do block style comments to say, by doing the following, by putting a forward slash star, all the comments we'd like, and then ending it with a star followed by a forward slash. So in here we can put print another welcome message and show the power of variables. And then here we can actually print our welcome message. Welcome again. And then in this way, you probably don't see the value of this too much here because our program is very small, but as our program grows larger and larger in size, you'll see why we'd like to commentate these things. Now, imagine we were writing a program to help our users keep track of their stuff. So what our program will do is that it'll simply ask the user a bunch of questions like how many books do you own, how many CDs do you own, and how much money do you have in your pocket, and we'll be able to print that information out to them so that they have it available to them at any time. So one way we could do this is we could just simply ask something like, how many books do you own? And at this point, we need some place to store the answer the user is going to provide us with. That place is called a variable in C++. And what a variable is it's simply a chunk of memory that's been reserved by the compiler to store a specific value of a specific type. When we declare a variable in C++, we have to give it two things, the name and type of the variable. Now there's three basic types in C++11 that come prepackaged with the program. There's the integral type, which is denoted by the int keyword followed by the variable name, semicolon. There's the double type, which holds both integral and floating point or decimal point type numbers. So we use those variables by doing a double keyword followed by variable name. And there's also a character type which holds characters, that is not numbers but actual characters, like the letter A, for example, and we denote that by using the keyword char followed by variable name. Now this is actually a very cool spot to use some comments to actually provide us with a way of writing some notes down just in case someone wants to follow along. So that is how we declare our variables. So we can actually write a note here that we can say here variable type and then variable name, like that. Now, what kind of answer do we expect from a question like how many books do you own? Out of these three, which do you expect? What kind of variable would you like to use? Well, we'd want to use an integer type variable because no one really owns, Q number of books. No one owns 12.25 number of books. Most people say, I own 5 books, I own 10 books, I own 12 books. So the most reasonable answer and the most reasonable type of variable to use is an integer. So we can say int num of books. Then we can allow the user to put the number of books they own by using the keyword sin. Sorry, sin is not a keyword, but we use the word sin and then space and then 2 right angle brackets followed by the variable where we're going to store the number of books. Now in this notation we can think of it like sin, the keyboard. From the keyboard, get the value and put it in number of books. So from the keyboard, get the value, put it in number of books. And then let's verify and then print back out you entered and then 2 left angle brackets and then the name of the variable. And then let's continue the message by saying books like follows. So let's actually compile this program and try to run it and see what happens. So here we go. We noticed that my comments were left out of the program, again, because they are only there for the reader of the source code, not for the actual execution of the program. And we say, welcome to my C++ program. Welcome again. How many books do you own? Let's say 3 books. And it's going to say, you entered 3 books right here. So let's go back into our program. And now what if we ask the user something like cout how much money is in your pocket? What kind of variable would we want to use for that? Now this one's a little bit tricky because we know that integers can hold integer numbers and we can have $12 on the dot in our pocket. But it's more likely we're going to carry some change with that. So to be safe, we're going to use the double type. So we're going to say double money in pocket. And then let's let the user input that number of money. And then let's print out you entered money in pocket. Now let's recompile. Oops, we get our first compiler error here. Now what's it complaining about? It's complaining about the fact that I have a period after my money in pocket variable name, because my money in pocket variable name just does not have a period in it. So let's get rid of that and recompile. It seems like everything's okay. And then it's going to ask us for the number of books again. We're going to say 3. How much money is in your pocket? We're going to say $12.51. And it says you enter 12.51, just as expected. So for our final example, what we're going to do is say this. Now, so for our final example, we're going to say the following. We're going to say, in the English language, we have each day of the week has its corresponding letter that we use to shorthand. So for example, Monday, we usually refer to by M, Tuesday by T, Wednesday by W, Thursday as R, and, so forth. So the best way, now, let's say we were going to ask the user, what day of the week is it? and then the user might say it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We don't want it to be in the form of a number, because here we've decided to represent Monday with as a letter, and same thing with Tuesday and Wednesday. We want it in the form of a character. To declare a character, we could just say character followed by the name of the variable, so we're going to call it day of week. And then we're going to say input into day from the keyboard into day of week. And then let's verify. We're going to say it is, and then put the name of the variable in there, and then let's print an end line just to be safe. And then let's run a program. We have 3 books, $12.50, and it is, let's say, I don't know, Thursday. So we see here that it is R. That will be it for today's tutorial, guys. Thank you for watching. Next tutorial, we will cover some more details responding to variable types, and we will also go into arithmetic operators for C++. Thank you and have a great day.